I've been out this morning at 6 a.m. to see the rescuers resume their search for Dr. Mosley, and even with the sea breeze, it was uncomfortably hot. So, as one of the rescuers told me last night, we are in a race against time.
Breakfast.
Now, the search has resumed for a fourth day for the TV doctor Michael Mosley, who's missing on the Greek island of Symi. The Times chief news correspondent David Brown is on the island and he's with us now. Good morning.
Morning, Chloe.
Now, bring us the latest details here, because there felt like there was very much a shift when it emerged that this CCTV footage of Dr. Mosley was discovered in a village. Just take us through the sort of timeline of events of what we do know.
I was really hoping I'd be on this morning bringing you some good news. The development yesterday was we'd known that Dr. Mosley had left a nearby beach, St. Nicholas Beach, and he'd walked along a coastal path. And the focus of the searches initially had been on that path. The Coast Guard were there, divers were there, the idea that perhaps he'd got lost or fallen into the sea. Then yesterday there was a discovery of a series of CCTV cameras which showed he'd reached the nearest village, he'd walked through that village, and I've actually watched the CCTV footage from each of these restaurants as he walks past, and then almost inexplicably goes to a path that leads up into the mountains. And it would be possible for him to walk back to his villa in the port, the capital of this island, but it would have taken 3 hours for a fit younger man. It was also ferociously hot. It is ferociously hot. I've been out this morning at 6 a.m. to see the rescuers resume their search for Dr. Mosley, and even with the sea breeze, it was uncomfortably hot. So, as one of the rescuers told me last night, we are in a race against time.
So this mountainous path, which much of the media is describing this morning as treacherous, just give us more details on it, because this is a 67-year-old man who's walking along with an umbrella to shade himself, but it's incredibly hot and it's a difficult route, difficult terrain.
It is. Also, it's a little known route. Even people who know the island very well don't know it and wouldn't consider using it. This mountain is full of sheep, and along the path there is stone-built huts in which the sheep can shelter. So we know, was the rescuers told me last night, they'd been searching these huts, which are dotted all over this mountain, to see if Dr. Mosley had sought shelter in there. There isn't much other shelter up there. It is rocky. There's occasional bushes. There's actually a wonderful aroma up there of thyme. The thyme bushes grow everywhere, but it's a hostile environment. We don't know how much water Dr. Mosley had. He was carrying a small rucksack. We don't think he stopped to buy any water in the village. And this is a grueling terrain, even for the rescuers who are fully equipped, have all of their equipment, communications equipment. Dr. Mosley had left his mobile telephone at home. So there's puzzlement about why he would take this journey. Why not take the much easier route through the roads back to his villa, or simply catch a bus or taxi?
So what are the police and the rescuers saying about, well, their strategy and their lines of investigation?
They've had the drones up again. It really is just searching this terrain. They were rather hopeful of finding him quite quickly when the searches resumed this morning. They didn't have a great deal of time last night. And the longer it takes, the more worried they're becoming. They were very worried last night. They hoped for an early resolution today. It is barren up there. It's a big area. It's not a well-marked path. And the rescuers are saying, if you lose the trail, you would get lost, deeply lost, and you could be ambling around. Hopefully he's sought some shelter from this very intense sun and is holding out, waiting for the rescuers. We know Dr. Mosley's 3 oldest children are on the island. We haven't seen them yet, and they probably wouldn't wish to get involved in the rescue because it's, as I keep stressing, it is very difficult up in these mountains.
And have his family or the friends that he was on holiday with spoken at all? Have any eyewitnesses spoken? It's just a case of kind of piecing together not only where he is, but sort of the motivation for that.
I've spoken to lots of eyewitnesses. He was quite distinctive, carrying this purple umbrella through. People recommended seeing him. They saw him set off on this coastal path. It was actually the umbrella which was to prove crucial in making sure they'd identified the correct person as he walked through the village. The local authorities have spoken to Dr. Mosley's children. They've described him as an adventurer. They said he did like to sort of go off-piste, as it were. That used to like seeing the natural environment, had an interest in wildlife. Their speculation is that he left his wife, Claire, back on the beach, got to the village and thought, why don't I just have a little extra walk? Why don't I just carry on a bit further? And that would be within his character, a man who likes to explore. And the wildlife and the scenery over here is absolutely stunning. But the temperatures are ferocious. Even the locals who are used to this sun say this heat wave is unprecedented.
Gosh, David, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. Really grateful to you. That is the Times chief news correspondent, David Brown. He's on the Greek island of Symi. It's the fourth day now of that search for the TV doctor, Michael Mosley. And I mean, whenever we speak to anybody about this, the time and time again, just keep coming back to the intense heat there. And it is going to be incredibly challenging even for the rescuers, let alone for Michael Mosley, as he is out there. The search does continue. As we've said throughout the course of the morning, you can go on to thetimes.com this weekend. You can read the latest on that investigation. It's being updated constantly. The paywall is down. You can read anything for free this weekend. So if you don't have a subscription, now's a really good time to go online, read the fantastic journalism of The Times and keep right up to date with that, just intriguing story.
Yeah.